Everyone is at Web Summit this week. I'm not. I'm in Grey Berlin. I'm not in Lisbon, but I'm still back from a conference. Namely, I'm back from DeepL Dialogues Customer Conference. It's a new customer-facing, mostly, conference organized by DeepL, the translation service, AI-based translation service. They are a European company. They were founded in Cologne in 2017. They're about 7 years old. They have about 1,000 employees right now, 100,000 paying customers, which is pretty good. They're valued at about 2 billion euros, according to the latest valuation after a 300 million funding round earlier this year. Now at DeepL Dialogues, they introduced two new products, DeepL Voice for meetings and DeepL Voice for conversation. DeepL Voice for Meetings is a live translation service for virtual meetings. DeepL Voice for Conversations is a one-to-one conversation translator. It's app-based on the DeepL app. Both are very much B2B. If you have a company account, if you're a company using DeepL, you will be able to use these two new services right away. So far, DeepL had DeepL Translate mostly and DeepL Write, so the deep learning neural network, bit of LLM over there, translation service, the LLM for editing text called DeepL Write, and now there's the voice version of this all, which is of course the natural next step. My main takeaways from this are, I would say two. Well, the first one is actually that the company is called DeepL, which I gotta say didn't know before. We said something like around DeepL or stuff like that. It's actually DeepL. That's my first takeaway. Second takeaway, it's a very European company and it's refreshing to see. Probably a lot of people think that DeepL working so well, growing so fast is a Silicon Valley company. No, it's still based in Germany. So you can do it. You can actually have a multinational tech company in Europe. Who would have said? And the second takeaway is that this is a competitive advantage in the AI field. I believe so, because thanks to the fact that they are in Europe, that they were born and raised as a company in Europe, DeepL has a pretty big competitive advantage in the B2B field, which is they know how to deal with privacy. They know how to work with data privacy and safety. They just have all of this baked in by design because they live in Europe. They are born and raised in the place where regulation comes first. I don't believe that you can't do tech in Europe just because it's so regulated. And DeepL is actually a very good example of that. So much so that now, while everyone is hyping AI so much, and we don't really have, especially as companies, a proof that the hypothesis of AI applications are true, we still have to prove that the way we use LLMs as a fundamental business sense. We'll probably get there. I'm pretty optimistic that this is definitely a tech revolution. I don't like the hype, but I believe that this technology is incredible. I believe we are in a bit of a bubble when it comes to the importance of LLMs, the way they will change our lives, but they have changed our lives already. And it was so refreshing to see that there is a company like DeepL that more or less has based its own roadmap around this kind of approach. We have straightforward applications of our own technology that companies that need to deliver can use today to actually have a measurable return on their investment on AI. So this is a proven way to use AI in a company, or at least that's what DeepL is saying. I believe there is a European way to tech that I really like, and it's really refreshing to see. I'm not saying it's the best. There's so many more opportunities that you can probably have in Silicon Valley because also of the deregulation environment that you can profit from. Absolutely. But when I asked the CEO directly about this, he said, no, actually, the main problem we have is not the regulations. You learn how to develop and build around them, and they can become, in specific areas, actually a competitive advantage. No, the main problem we have is actually more financial. Company equity schemes, for example, are not so easy to enact. There's a lot of bureaucracy around this kind of fundamental things that should just be, second thought. Instead, they become very important to solve, if you want to attract the kind of talents you want. And I think that this should still be discussed and solved very much in Europe right now. But regulations, being first on regulating AI, it's a great thing. It's something that in a few years we will be proud of having done. I might be a bit bold, I might be a bit biased here, but DeepL is definitely the proof that you can do it. So yeah, these were my main takeaways. Surprisingly nice little conference. It was the first year. I'm looking forward to see a new DeepL Dialogues next year. And watch out for DeepL because I think it's a really interesting company to watch in the AI space right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.